And we are live. Okay, so actually I managed to keep my promise for coming online pretty much on time. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple more of these achievements for 5-10 minutes. And when people get here, when we got a bunch of viewers, we're gonna watch the Gamescom stuff, okay? 5-10 minutes, and as soon as we get a certain amount of viewers watching the stream, we're gonna switch to the Gamescom stuff. I don't wanna like go online and immediately start a thing so people don't miss it. I know some people are waiting for it, so let's do just that. I think I'm gonna get a couple of these treasures in the meantime, while waiting for people to connect. And then we're gonna get started. I have the whole thing prepared, so there is certain hype to being able to watch stuff together. I am very hyped up about that. Oh yeah. Apparently we have to get a light salt cleaver somewhere around here. We do have to enter untethered space first, so where do we do that? Right here. Shadow Hole. Do we need that guy? Nope. We need Hecatamos, Arcana Mortis, Saucer, and Stalker of the Wastes. Okay, we will target those a little bit later. Perhaps later tonight. Okay, it's another transmog. Korgat Stallon. That one is in untethered space. I spent like 15 minutes trying to find that one on the first week, and then after like pretty much wrecking my brain for 15 minutes, it turned out I needed to have a certain level of the ratio reps. Glissyblock says hello. Well, hello to you. Welcome to the stream. Shortly after more people join, we're gonna watch the Gamescom stuff. Pretty excited about the Gamescom stuff. We have like 20 people. Can you play my game? I only play World of Warcraft on this channel, sorry to say. Matthias Acosta says hi. Yo, what's up, Matthias? How are you doing? Alright, there's the Talon. And can continue. We're getting very close to this achievement, by the way, like this exploration one.
Are murderers and thieves. Plus, the last time they entered the oasis, they stepped on a dozen endangered flowers. Deal with them harshly.
So I think we're gonna pick up this item, and then we're gonna watch the videos. That's the plan. Well, maybe this is gonna be the last item. We got quite some people joining now, so it's about time.
I need to get closer.
Now, where the hell is this item though? I think it's down there. Okay. We do have the glider. And we did get it. Oh, and we get one of the achievements. We've got all sorts. Although we still haven't even completed this one, but we're We only missed 3. We only missed 3. Well, that's something we're gonna do afterwards. So, I'm gonna get rid of the music. And we're gonna switch to the actual official World of Warcraft YouTube channel. They have these panels from Gamescom available. So that's what we'll be looking at. Just give me a second. I also have to switch it on the Twitch stream so people can see it also on Twitch. All right, that is done. And which one should we start with? I mean, there's the Midnight Developer panel and Systems Download. I don't know what Systems Download is. So let's just start with this one. This one was published earlier. So let's start with this one. Let me know if the volume is okay, alright? Let me know if anything's too loud or too low.
Please join me in welcoming Ian Hazacostas and Marie Hamilton for the World of Midnight. Give it up!
Okay. Make sure it's the best quality. Sorry about that. Okay, there we
Guten
go.
Tag und herzlich willkommen. Thank you, Gamescom.
I wonder if Ian can actually speak German. Probably not.
Thank you for coming out for this panel where we're going to talk about the world of Midnight, the story, the zones, the cultures, and the places that you'll go. I'm Ian Hazacostas, Game Director on WoW.
Hi, I'm Maria Hamilton, Associate Design Director on WoW. I'm super happy to be here.
And so today we're going to talk about story, cultures, delves, dungeons, and raids.
Not
So
delve,
let's kick things
please.
off with a quick recap of the stories so far, what brought us here. So we began the World Soul Saga around a year ago and began telling the largest, most ambitious story we've ever tried to tell in World of Warcraft. It all began with whispers, visions that the champions of Azeroth were beginning to experience that ultimately led Thrall and Anduin, among others, to, a certain sword in a certain place.
Why do they have this background music in there, bro?
We investigated, we tracked those visions down, and ultimately
It's
they
not
led
me,
us
right? It's the
to
video.
mysterious
Yeah, they literally just have background music playing as he speaks. That's kind of annoying.
land of Khazalgar, where we deployed the floating city of Dalaran, and that didn't go so well.
Yeah, what
we
the
were in
fuck?
fact ambushed by Xalatath and her Nerubian
That
allies.
sucked.
Where Xalatath wielded the Dark Heart artifact to drain the power of Dalaran, capturing Khadgar as well, and destroying the city. Over the course of our adventures, Xalatath thwarted us several times, but Ilaria was able to ultimately perceive the power and the importance of the Dark Heart. She struck out at it, damaging it. This severely disrupted Xalatath's plans, as well as freeing Khadgar. He was mortally wounded, but Anduin was able to step in and save him. But that disruption led Xalatath to seek out the aid of one Gallywix. Now, the Dark Heart is this incredibly powerful artifact, originally crafted by Neltharion with the aid of the goblins. So who better than some goblins to repair the damage? But she should have found some more trustworthy goblins, because Gallywix, of course, had a plan of his own. And the Dark Heart ended up falling into the hands of Shadowguard Ethereals, who aimed to use it to bring back the Voidlord Demencius, a threat so great that it even forced Xalatath to set aside her goals and work with us for a time.
What are her
To
goals,
stop
though?
his rise and the inevitable devouring of all worlds. Now, we have defeated Demencius, at least on story mode, Raid Finder, Normal, and Heroic. I think Echo is actually working on Mythic around 25 minutes from here right now. So is Method and Liquid. But would you believe that upon Demencius' defeat, Xalatath was not, as it turns out, on our side? And so she claimed the power of the Void Lord Dimensius, ascended to become one of the most powerful beings the cosmos has ever known. And now, as we move into midnight, she is set to launch an assault that will plunge our world into darkness, that will extinguish all light unless we stand against it.
All right, well, let's start off talking about our heroes and our foes. So starting off, we've got Turalian, Erator, and Ilaria. We've been following.
He did Arathor
Ilaria's
dirty with
journey
that
for a bit
haircut,
here.
man.
We know about her feelings
Sorry.
about Xalatath, and she was right all along. We also have Turalian, her husband, who will be an important part of Midnight as a representative of the light.
Yeah,
So
let's
at
go.
the very end of the cinematic there, when we see the light coming in response to Liadrin's prayer, the army of light has arrived, and so have the players. We also will be called by the light to come and join that battle. Erator, of course, is their child.
Look at his fucking
He
haircut,
also
man.
is a paladin, and he is very supportive and understanding of both of his parents. He's trying to understand the void influences that Ilaria is dealing with, as well as the strong call to light that his father has. So he's a little bit in the middle of the two. So they are very important to our story. And of course, we have Xalatath. Couldn't go very far without Xalatath, our very cool villain. She seems to do whatever she needs to do to achieve whatever her goal is.
Oh,
She's
let's
now
figure out
seen
what it
her
is.
goal is.
Curious.
She's going to wipe us off the planet. She's going to take Azeroth. She's going to take all the power for herself and bring down Midnight. So looking forward to seeing what's happening with Xalatath. Wasn't really expecting the Army of Light to show up there, as you could tell. She seemed a little surprised, but she's got plenty of forces, and she's very powerful at this point. We also have Liadrin. She is she's the Blood Knight matriarch. She's obviously a very powerful paladin.
in-game model for Liadrin
She's
looks
the
pretty
one
cool.
who has called upon the light to come and save the day.
But the cinematic
And she
was
is
pretty
gonna
bad.
be
She looked
very
pretty bad in
important to
cinematic.
our efforts to push back the void. She does not have a strong liking for the Amani trolls, and that will become important.
Okay.
We have Orwena, who we met back in the War Within, the Heronir. We met a few of them, not a lot. And as you probably know, we'll be going and seeing more about their culture and their race. Orwena is going to have an opportunity to teach us about her people and what they care about, what their interests are, their culture. And she is one of the youngest of her race, actually. She is not an elder. There are elder Heronir, much more knowledgeable and wise. She follows the voice of her goddess, and that has taken her into places that we have been able to find her at last. We have Umbric and the Void Elves. This is an opportunity for the Void Elves to really come into their own, having been banished essentially from Silvermoon and their kin, essentially, because of the void taint that they feel that they have. Umbric is obviously trying to pull his people together, and he has a lot to contribute to our efforts to face off against the void. We have Zuljara and Zul'Jan, grandchildren of Zul'Jin. Zuljara is the chieftain of the Amani. Zul'Jan is
Yeah, so
her
we're going to be
greatest
working with
advisor,
them now,
brother.
or what?
They are going to be giving us an opportunity to experience the Amani culture, not as enemies this time, but as sort of friends. They too are
Interesting.
having slight void
Why?
problems.
I mean, I thought we
and,
killed
they
all
need
the
assistance.
Amani. Like, what's going on?
Needless
Why are
to
they
say,
showing
the
up
Blood
all of a
Elves are
sudden?
uninspired by that
And back in
request,
TBC, man.
as they aren't on best of terms. And then we have the Void and the Light, arguably the biggest conflict here between two forces. The Void we have been fighting against, the Light we have been fighting with. But, you know, extremes of either are problematic, as you might imagine. So there will be some issues between the two, and also issues between people
Oh,
that
yeah.
are void-based, like Void Elves.
You guys
and
remember
Army
the
of the Light
URL
Paladins, for
quest
example.
line?
So,
Like,
that's another
in Shadowlands,
important sort of
there's like an
contrast to
evil
watch
URL,
in
like
Midnight.
evil forces of light
And
on
now
the
let's look at
current,
the really pretty
on the
pictures.
Time Altered
going to the
Draenor.
culture and zones. So our first culture to talk
Like,
about
evil
is
light
Blood Elves.
sounds super
Those of you
cool.
that don't play Horde may not know a lot about the Blood Elves. This is your opportunity to rectify that. They were High Elves before adopting the name Sindorai to represent and reflect upon the death of so many of their own. The Scourge,
Ooh.
did a terrible number on their
They did a
home
nice
area and
little
Eversong and
touch up
Ghostlands,
on Silvermoon and
they've been
Eversong
recovering
Woods.
ever since.
I like
Their,
that. I like that.
need for power, their need for energy and magical strength is well known. They are very, very tied to the Sunwell, which is, of course, exactly what Xalatath is going after.
Not releasing
Here's
Warcraft 3 was a mistake,
free
yeah.
alpha
Warcraft 4,
footage
yeah.
for you that we
I
just
agree.
captured a couple weeks ago.
They needed more story.
I want to point out that there's not a lot of
I
creatures
agree.
spawned yet because, as I said, we're pre-alpha. But it's looking really good. It's exactly like what you
yeah, I
might
like
expect
this.
from Eversong.
I like this.
Eversong and Ghostlands have been combined into a single zone
Okay.
called Thalas.
Okay.
Because it's a relatively small zone. They were small zones back in Classic. And now with skywriting, we want it to feel fun to move through them. But as you can see, you know, it's the usual sorts of architecture that you would expect, the lofty glistening towers.
This is gonna be a horde only
amazing
zone,
foliage
or
and manicured gardens.
can
And,
Alliance go in as
there
well
were,
on do quests?
some things that have healed. The Dead Scar in particular has totally healed and is no
Oh,
longer
cool.
there. Not all parts of the
I
zone,
like that. I
however,
like how
have
they've
healed up. There are still some areas that look a little bit iffy, this being one of them.
sped the time up a
So
little bit.
essentially, it's the same
World
same
is
place
changing.
you're used to.
Wonder if they're gonna
Either
keep
you're a
this
Blood
old
Elf, if
versions
not, here's your opportunity to
of
check it
the
out.
zones.
Check out the zone.
I hope so.
Reimagining it was super fun for us. Artists had a great time. Had the opportunity to make it just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and increase the fidelity of the zone. Hope you'll enjoy it. We're going to move on now. And this is Silvermoon City. It is enormous. I would say that because it's a hub city, there's a small section of Silvermoon that's been set aside as a sanctuary area where Horde and Alliance share that space. But the majority of the city is Horde, and Alliance is kill on sight, as you would expect. Essentially, our world building team had a wonderful time. It's all new assets. The city walls are all brand new, all to top fidelity. Everything has
That
been
looks really
remade.
nice.
We've got places you'll recognize. You should feel real nostalgia if you've had any experience
Oh, look.
here.
They're
We
bringing
have
back
Murder Row,
Gunnar
River
statues
Show, which
into
you will
WoW.
see a dungeon related to that as well. But overall, it's the same glorious, wonderful Silvermoon you love, but with much, much better, much more recent fidelity art. And once this stuff gets
Surprising,
going with our
but
spawn,
welcome.
it's going to look amazing. And yeah, there's a little void storm problem going on. And let's talk about the Amani, because they're the next culture we're going to want to talk about. They were previously enemies. If you happen to be around and played the raid in Zulaman, then you're familiar with the Amani and sort of their culture. We've had an opportunity to expand them because we created an entire zone for them now.
So whatever happened with
they
Zulaman then?
Are
Like,
very proud
how are they
people.
still here?
They worked very hard
We killed
to
them all.
get their land. They had some important work to do. The Zandalari basically said, well, you can have that land if you defeat this, giant, evil, horrible thing. And so they did that. And they were a great empire for a period of time, but they've fallen sort of into a lesser status now. They've sort of lost their touch with the Loa. They're not as close to them. Being right on the border and having a lot of conflict with the Blood Elves makes this a little tricky for them. They too are having some void problems. This is Zulaman. We built the entire zone out.
Wow.
You will see the raid
It's a big mountain now. Oh, that looks good. Oh, I like that.
Buildings, I expect. This is a very old forest, very tall mountains. It's temperate. It rains a fair bit.
This is really cool. This is like a combination of Nazmir and Grizzly Hills, I feel. You take Nazmir and Grizzly Hills, mash them together, that's what you get. Ooh, this is really nice.
Temples still, but the Amani haven't been really worshipping the Loa for a long time. A lot of stuff is overgrown.
I can't wait for that zone.
And Zuljara is going to need
even better
to find
looking
a
than the
way
new
to
Eversong
help
books.
her people survive the void onslaught that is coming for them. As you can see where the void has
Looks
come in.
badass.
It's not
Holy
looking
shit.
quite so good.
Okay. I was
let's move
disappointed
on
from
to
the
the
initial gameplay preview,
So
but
we
this
met
looks
the
really good.
Heronir early on in the War Within, but we weren't really sure what they were about. We didn't know their story, and we didn't
Well,
know
I
their
hope the
connection,
developers know.
really to the rest of the world. We'd never seen them before. They're ancient guardians of the Rootways, and they're led actually by a council of elders.
Rootways.
They have a very direct connection with their goddess, and Orwena has a very strong direct connection, in fact, with the goddess, which led her to leave her people and go out into the outside world, something that they don't tend to do and they don't really look kindly upon.
How are they different from droids, guys?
So, as you probably have heard, they are unlocked as an allied race. You'll be able to make your very own Heronir. We're going to have great customizations for them. They look pretty awesome. I have to say, I've seen the druid forms. We weren't able to show those yet. They are really awesome. One of them is a pangolin, which just looks amazing. They are prone to wearing this bioluminescent
I don't
paint,
even know what that is.
and they have different kinds of patterns they can put on their faces and chests. So really cool looking,
Google that real
really
quick.
awesome. Not really elves, not really trolls.
Oh,
Those of
it's
you
like
that
an
have kind of,
armadillo, almost.
seen them previously played in the War Within know that they take a bat form when they want to travel. So that's the Heronir and their customizations. And this is the zone, Herondar. It is a fungal jungle place, and it has all of the roots of the world trees all converge here, all are twisted up in this area, this pocket area, which isn't really directly connected to anything. The people, the Herondir,
How do we get there?
travel through the rootways themselves, so they're able to move around the world. One of the interesting things about this zone is it has a place called the Rift of Ulm, and from the Rift of Ulm will issue forth creatures that their goddess dreams. And sometimes they are horrific and horrible things.
Ooh, I like this
And
one.
some
That's
members
badass.
of the Heronir take an oath,
Reminds
give
me
up
of
their connection to the
Udyr
goddess,
and
and serve
Jehun.
as wardens of that place, preventing those horrible
They
creatures
aren't inherently droids,
from
they're just
attacking.
awesome looking hippies.
They also have this
Alright.
place called the Den of Echoes, which we're looking
This
at
is some
now.
avowed shit.
This is where
I haven't
the
played Avowed,
Heronir
actually.
remember their past through paintings, and you will have an opportunity to learn some of those stories by interacting with those paintings. And let's talk a little bit about the Void, since we also have that as a culture. You can see people you recognize on one side, and people you probably recognize less on the other side.
The fuck is the guy
Void
on the
creatures in
second from the
general are
left?
very
Look at his
predatory.
face.
They are interested in eating anything smaller and weaker than themselves and taking that power. The Dominar, which are sort of the strongest, are a bit
Leftmost guy
different.
looks
They're
badass.
very, very intelligent, very smart. And the Dominar actually have a bit of a hierarchy that they've developed, again, through conquest, through, beating on and dominating others. And you will deal with Dominar as one of the stronger representatives of the Void. Of course, Xalatath is part of this group. Cultists who follow Xalatath and follow the Void. We've already seen the Shadow Guard as well. There's even cute little ones, but they will try to eat you, so don't think that they're all that cute. And this is Voidstorm. This is a mysterious world that has been formed by the Void. Everything here is hungry. Everything will eat you given opportunity. This is all about gaining power, becoming stronger, becoming more powerful, and eating the next thing. So
like Katamari
essentially,
Damacy.
we have a big raid here in Voidstorm. This is where we will face off against the Void with the Army of Light and attempt to make sense of what's going on here. But there are some gorgeous pictures. I would say the best blues and purples ever, probably, happening right here. But
Skybox
generally
looks
speaking,
great.
a really,
I
cool
preferred
zone.
the Zulaman zone. That one,
And
for
you can
sure, is
be
my
pretty
favorite so
sure
far.
that they're enemies, all of them. All right. And I'm going to hand off to Ian.
It looked a little bit like the new part of
Delves,
bringing
and raids.
Deeps.
Thanks all.
God, please don't talk about delves. Please do a bigger delve revamp. I don't
Thank
like
you, Maria.
do more delves, man. Oh no.
Yeah, all those amazing zones that you just saw, of course, are going to contain delves, dungeons, and raids. So really, delves are one of our proudest additions to War Within, and they are, of course, here to stay. And so you have 10 new delves coming with Midnight, scattered across these zones. I think we've learned a lot of lessons. We've taken feedback on what worked and what
hopefully
didn't.
they will
So
rework
these are
them.
going to have all the same layers of variety and replayability that you knew in the War Within, but more
What do you
layouts,
mean?
more enemies that we found.
You need
work
more
better in this
mechanics, not
format.
just flat out
Less of
health
those
and
that don't.
damage.
A couple of these delves are actually going to be outdoor spaces where you can use your ground mounts to get around more easily. And we're really happy to be able to integrate them into the stories of the zones, because now that they're such a proven format, we can really have quests lead you through them more regularly.
Okay, fair.
Now, of course, in addition to these 10 delves, there
That's
is
pretty
an
nice.
11th Nemesis delve, where you will track down the Nemesis that has
I
been plaguing you over the
love the
course of the
Nemesis
first season.
delves, though. That's something
And
completely
taking the
different
place
from the
of
regular
Grand
ones.
Bronzebeard will be a new companion, none other than our good friend Valera Sanguinar.
Yeah, they're bringing Gooning back in a
Now,
big
she
way.
will aid you in many of the same ways as Bran, and hopefully stand in fewer things that you'd prefer she not stand in. So, dungeons. We have 8 new dungeons coming in Midnight, 4 level up, 4 max level. And again, these we always try to showcase fun gameplay and innovative looks at the dungeon format. We'll be returning to Magister's Terrace, which has really been reimagined and expanded from last we saw it. We'll visit some new locations that weren't accessible before, including a balcony overlooking the Sunwell itself. When we go to Murder Row, a corner of Silvermoon, I think for Court of Stars fans back from Legion,
That
there's
sounds
some
really
of those
nice,
vibes here, as
actually.
we're actually going in undercover to investigate rumors of the use of fell magic.
By the way, you notice the
within walls of
background image
Silvermoon.
here?
And
I
before
love
we
it.
know it, we're going to be plunged into combat, and the dungeon will unfold from there.
Well, welcome
Another
back,
favorite
Lena.
is the Void Scar Arena in the Void Storm. Here, at the whims of one of the Dominar that Maria was just mentioning, combatants from around the universe come together to kind of battle to the death for the pleasure of the Dominar, and we're going to be thrown into that arena as part of this dungeon. And don't worry, especially in Mythic Plus,
Are
as
you?
waves
Pretty
come
good
at
just
you,
watching
you can
this, so.
control the pace of the waves.
Not gonna
Of
talk
course,
too
we're
much,
gonna have
but
we're gonna have a mix of 4 of these dungeons, as
let's
well
finish
as
these
4
videos
returning
first.
fan favorites in the first season of Midnight. But unlike in War Within, all 8 of these dungeons will be available in Mythic 0 during that pre-season period right at launch. Another fun dungeon that we'll be venturing into is Windrunner Spire, where for those of you, particularly lore fans out there, we're going to get to learn more about the family history and the tragic background of the Windrunner family. This is a wing dungeon with plenty of mysteries.
yeah, there are
to
actually
uncover.
novels about this, I think. There's just
Now,
so many
in
novels
Midnight, we have not 1,
for World of
not
Warcraft.
2, but 3 separate
Like
raid
30.
zones that will be rolling out over the course
Yeah,
of the first season.
I love that.
Here you see
that
the
they have
Void
3
Spire
separate
in
raids.
the Void Storm, which is that stronghold of power where we're going to need to assault Xalatath. This is a 6-boss raid. But alongside it, there will also be the Dream Rift, a 1-boss raid in Haranar. And then shortly after that, we'll be able to take the fight back to the Sunwell and the Gates of Silvermoon in the March on Keldanas.
I love it.
Really excited to have different environments, different settings, and really integrate.
I love this idea. This is a big Blizzard W. Big Blizzard W.
Mode, all players can experience these epic moments, and we can offer a wider range of environments for guilds to
Not
challenge themselves
a
against.
single raid,
So that's
cookie
a quick
cutter,
look at
but
the
3
world, the
story-driven
setting, what's coming in
separate
Midnight.
raids.
Thank you, Gamescom.
Huge Blizzard W. Okay, so that was pretty short, but okay, we figured something out. So coming 2026, so this is not gonna come out this year. And now they have one more video which I wanted to watch. So let's get straight into it. It's called Systems Download Developer Panel. I don't know what that means. Download developer systems download, but it's 31 minutes long. So let's watch this one as well. Oh, that's a bad boy. I hate these animations. It's the whole character's frozen for some reason. Just
Here are Ian Hazacostas and Paul Cubid.
Hello, Gamescom. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming out to join us today. It's going to be an amazing time together talking about the systems and features of Midnight.
systems,
I'm
guys.
Ian Hazacostas, game director on World of Warcraft.
And my name is Paul Cubit.
Everybody
associate
loves
game
systems.
director,
I love systems.
Also on World of Warcraft.
Most people don't love
Let me give you
systems.
a quick rundown of what we're going to talk about in the next 30 minutes. So first off, thank you for your patience over the course of the past week as we've tried to get out all the information about what we're doing in Midnight. Today, we're going to talk about the new Demon Hunter specialization.
Oh, they have a
that's coming,
PvP
new talents,
category.
what you're going to earn
New
on the way
talents.
to level 90, how the
Hyped.
prey system is going to work, but also some new aspects of world content specific to each of the zones of Midnight. We're going to talk about how the leveling experience is going to work and what's in store for new and returning players. Got some updates for the PvPers in the house, and a range of quality of life updates, including some UI improvements.
Like the prey
One thing we're not
system.
going to talk about a lot today
It's
is
pretty good, I
our
said.
housing system.
Oh,
We have a lot of information out about housing.
That
It's
looks
been amazing
great.
seeing thousands of you check out the demo hands-on.
oh
over
my
10 days.
god. This is the
We're gonna
housing.
be doing
Yo,
hands-on
what?
this later this year.
Holy.
That's right, later this year.
That
In
looks
our
so good.
11.2.7 patch, at the end of War Within, the housing system is going to roll out. Anyone who owns Midnight at that point can claim their home and start decorating it, but everyone who is playing WoW, even if you don't own Midnight yet, can start collecting your decor and getting ready for the expansion ahead.
We're gonna
Without
do
further
a
ado,
big
let me
housing
hand
stream
over
when it
to
comes
Paul
out.
to talk about the next few items.
All right, keep your eyes and ears peeled. We got a lot of new information coming out today. We're going to dive pretty deep into the systems and features, starting with this fella back behind me. That's right, the Devourer Demon Hunter. Now, you've seen Havoc, you've seen Vengeance. Now it's time to meet the new Demon Hunter spec that turns every fight into a highlight reel. The Devourer is our third Demon Hunter spec. It's a little bit different than our other two specializations. Previously, Demon Hunters only channeled Fel energy to power their abilities, whereas the Devourer uses Cosmic Void powers to power their Annihilation abilities. It's a
Okay.
ranged DPS spec, but not in a traditional sense. You're not going to be standing out at max range, casting spells the entire time. Depending on how you build your character, and we'll take a look at some talents a little bit later, but depending on how you build it, you may be standing at mid-range pretty consistently, or you may be darting in and out in sort of a hybrid build where you're spending some time in melee and then using Vengeful Retreat to jump back.
So like a red paladin.
Let's break down the toolkit a little bit. So first up, this is Void Metamorphosis. This is your iconic Demon Hunter transformation, but with a twist. This is not cooldown based, it's energy based. You have to use Reap, which is your giant kind of scythe attack, to gather up any of the void fragments that you can't reach, or you can just sort of run around and pick them up as you're used to doing with souls.
That sounds
and once
really
you've gathered
annoying.
enough, you can enter into meta. Now, once you're in meta, you want to stay in meta as long as possible.
Nothing like a
Void
paladin.
energy is a
Not
little
from
bit different
the
than
lore
Fel energy.
perspective.
It's slippery, it's elusive, it wants to get
But
away
from
from
the
you, and you need to devour it. You need to
gameplay
pull it in
perspective.
as much as you can. So you want to stay in this meta as long as possible, and the longer you do, the more damage you'll do as well. I'll share how in just a slide or two. In this shot, you will see Void Ray. This is the Void's interpretation of I-Beam. It's a 25-yard line attack. With all sort of the trademarks of I-Beam, where you have the rotation, you can move around, just line up all your abilities and turn them into piles of ash. It's beautiful, it's purple. Important note, when you're in Devourer spec, everything is gonna be purple. Our art team did a killer job, as they always do, to take everything. You're not gonna see any green at all. It's just gonna be void, void, void. Really cool. Speaking of really cool, this is Collapsing Star. This is your big, brutal anime finisher. The way this ability works is
Look at that
you have to be
anime
in meta to
finisher.
cast it. So once you get into meta, then you have you unlock the ability to cast Collapsing Star. The more times you cast Collapsing Star in a meta, the stronger and stronger it gets. So like I said, that you want to hold on to that metamorphosis as long as possible. It's got that big, raid boss finale energy.
That sounds rewarding and dopamine
Next up,
inducing.
let's talk about hero talents. The Demon Hunter is getting a new spec, and with that, they get a new hero talent tree, and that is called the Annihilator tree. You can see it in the sort of the lower left-hand side there. This is shared between Devourer and Vengeance, and sort of broadly speaking, this is all about dropping meteors on your enemies. If you're Devourer, there will be big, bold Void meteors. If you're in Vengeance, they will be Fell meteors, but meteors nevertheless. Devourer will also have access to the Scarred tree. No longer is it called the Fell Scarred tree, it's just simply Scarred. We are inclusive of all types of scarring here. As Demon Hunters, we know we are our scars, that's right. All right, let's move on. Next up, Void Elf Demon Hunter. This is a new race class combination that is coming to World of Warcraft.
A little bit of a reference to the Legion Elite cinematic.
That's available during the 12.0 pre-launch. The Devourer spec will also be available during pre-launch as well. So if you're interested in messing around with Devourer, you can switch over as soon as we get to that pre-launch period before we take the fight to Xalatath at Silver Moon and in Eversong. And the same is true of Void Elf Demon Hunter. There'll be a very short quest line along with that pre-launch where you unlock this character. Now, for those of you who are Horde players in the audience, like myself, you may have noticed this introduces a little bit of an imbalance. The Void Elves are ready to jump into a particular new class, and this is particularly lore appropriate for what we're doing at this time. The World Soul Saga is not over yet. There will be new opportunities for other race class combinations that will make sense with the story as we tell it. So keep your eyes peeled.
New talents, let's go!
Next up,
Let's see the red paladin talents.
So
Hype,
as you play
hype.
in Midnight, you're going to get
Hype.
new levels. No big surprise there. You'll level from 80 to 90, and you'll get 10 new talent points as well.
Okay.
The way those are going to break it down is you're going to get 3 points in your class tree, 3 in your hero tree, and then 4 in your spec tree. And you'll earn those sort of alternatingly.
Okay.
The way these work individually is on the class tree, it's very simple. You just got 3 more points. You can use them however you want. If there's some
They need
ability
to add more
that you
talents, though.
wanted to get to, but you couldn't quite
Need
reach
to add
it,
more talents.
or you had to make a painful
They
trade-off
need to make
get
the
to
tree
that
wider.
point, well, now you might be a little bit more likely to be able to get to that.
They need
point.
more
You
spec
won't have to
variety.
make that painful trade-off. In the hero talent tree, there's an additional lane. So we're keeping all the same hero talents, but we're adding 3 new abilities in that 4th lane there. So it's going to take these already iconic and impactful powers and make them even more iconic.
Are we gonna get
even
everything?
more impactful.
Or
And
in the
lastly
hero
is
talent tree?
on this
Or
spec
not?
tree, we earned 4 points here. I'll share how that goes in the next
Because
slide.
I
A
don't
couple
like
clarifications
getting
first.
everything.
What you see behind me is the example for the Devourer Demon Hunter.
Need
Everything I'm saying here is true for
the
all 40
talents to be
specs
more
across the game.
sparse.
So the
Not,
3, 3, 4
you don't
applies to
want to be able to
everybody.
get everything.
And the other
You want more
clarification is
build
you can see
variety.
3 little dots over to the side of the tree there for those keen-eyed among you. That's just work-in-progress UI that our team's been using to be able to test these things along the way. What you'd expect this to look like is a little bit more like this, where you'd have, imagine, if you will, a big, giant talent point that sits at the bottom of your spec tree
Okay.
with a couple little pips in the bottom of it, and you're able to put 4 points into that. Now, all 4 points should be really impactful, but particularly impactful will be the first one and the last one. So let's take a look at a couple examples of how this will play out.
Okay,
on the
Preservation
Evoker,
Evoker.
and also on our favorite new
Where's
spec,
my red?
The Devourer.
Where's my red?
Hunter. So the first point is going to be a little bit more transformational. This will have a big effect on one of your abilities. In this case, for the Preservation
But
Evoker.
by the way, I like how they give examples for the spec that nobody knows. Devour Demon Hunter. Nobody knows what the spec is like. Why do they use examples for that?
I know the text's a little small, but it takes reversion and gives it a chance to be upgraded to a new ability called Marithra's Blessing.
Okay.
The next 2 points are just going to be make numbers bigger. They're going to make whatever that first thing did, make it even better. And then that last point is the exclamation point that really brings it all home. They should all fit together into a cohesive package. They share the icon, they share the name, they share the fantasy. But an important point to note is that you don't have to put all 4 points in this if you want to. It's not a separate tree. It is part of your spec tree. And so if you want to just go more broad in your spec tree too, there will be opportunities for you to do that. But I expect a lot of people are going to want to check out what's in their Apex talents because they are super duper cool. That's it for talents. Next, I'm going to talk about a feature we've been working on.
Oh, they
and
haven't
talking
really
about
previewed
this
a lot.
week. It's called Prey. So
Oh, this
Prey
seems really boring,
is
by the
a
way.
new opt-in hunting system that lets you pursue powerful targets across Azeroth and beyond.
It feels like it's just gonna be annoying. Like your foes pursue you, and you're just gonna be doing something in the world, and you have a fucking huge elite spawn on you. It's just like, oh yeah, oh shit.
They're off places like the Void Storm, etc. It's built to slot right into how you already play. So whether you're a World Quest enjoyer, if you're out gathering, you just like hanging out, Prey should have a good fit for you. It's a little story balance, or a story background, I should say. This is a secretive initiative led by Astalor Bloodsworn. I don't know how many of you are lore nerds like myself out there, but if you remember Astalor, he's the Magister who's responsible for, you know, helping the Blood Elf Blood Knights get their paladin powers by chaining up a Naru underneath Silvermoon City. He's not doing that anymore, but he's still sort of got a checkered past, and so he's going to be the person who is going to be leading us along this fight. You kick things off in Silvermoon City, in Murder Row. That's where your new hub is, and this is where you're going to choose who you're going to hunt. Now, how's that going to play out? Well, let's see an example. You might be out in the world fighting an unassuming pangolin, casting Roll the Bones.
This is exactly what I thought it would be.
Your target might show up behind you and, you know, cause you to turn around, you blow all your cooldowns, make sure you survive. You might be mid-quest, you might be running between objectives, you could be minding your own business. But the point is, this is supposed to be unpredictable. It's supposed to keep you on your toes. This is sort of like a quest. It uses some tech that uses quests, but it's not meant to be like, you know, search 8 footprints and then you found him. We don't know.
This is not worth a mention as one of the major features, in my opinion. This just seems annoying.
Many things you have to do. You might be, you know, finding clues like footprints on the ground. You might be disarming traps. You might be doing other things, but you never really know when these guys are going to show up. Now, if you are the type of player who likes to play with a little bit of a challenge, Prey has you in mind as well. See, there's 3 difficulty levels. There's normal, and then there's hard.
I'm listening.
There's nightmare.
Okay.
And you're going to unlock this.
I like challenges.
The system. We all start at normal, but once you get to hard and nightmare, you're going to face a couple different things. First, you're going to see torments. These are additional abilities that these enemies will have, or just you might face as you're on the hunt for these.
He just stood in the fear, man.
Character behind me is struggling to deal with sort of a fear-based torment, but there'll be a bunch of them. There's some fixate-based ones as well. There's some really cool
and he's
mechanics.
keyboard turning.
It'll make these fights a little bit more challenging. In addition, once you're in hard or nightmare difficulty, you're in the outdoor world. If there's other players nearby, they can help you out, just like any outdoor content. But in hard and nightmare, it's just one-on-one, you and the target, no distractions, no escape. Let's talk about rewards. So there's a couple rewards available through Prey.
Yeah, that's
First,
nice.
I want to talk about
I like
cosmetics.
hard
We got a
solo
bunch of
fights,
custom cosmetics, including
like the Delph
really cool
Nemesis
mounts,
bosses.
like some mana worm.
This one looks
more
super
than
cool.
those.
Holy
They're
shit!
Really awesome looking, as well as some transmog appearances as well. You will also be able to earn power from this. So this is hot off the presses. We've been talking with the team back in California or back in the States, everywhere. Blizzard's all over the place. This will give you power rewards. Prey will be tied into the outdoor row in the Great Vault, so you'll be able to get really cool gear from that by participating in Prey, up to and including in Hero Tier. So this is just going to give you new ways to
can
play.
get Hero Tier from
Think
that.
about Delves and how Delves are able to give solo players some really cool opportunities to get awesome stuff. Prey is another way to do that too.
No, Delves,
Prey is just
they
one
need to
of the
rework
things
it.
that are going to go into
Then
the
you would
outdoor
need
world that we
to
can play around with. There's other
improve
outdoor
them much
features that
more.
go into the game as well. When I say outdoor features, I'm talking about, you know, the one-off things that happen in the game every once in a while, things like shipping and handling in Undermine, where you're driving your car around. The Soup event in Azure Span, which we all remember so
Soup
well
was cool.
and love so much. Yes,
But
Jeff,
shipping and handling
etc.
sucks.
We made a bunch of these.
Hate
We're gonna
driving
go
that
through a couple
stupid
of them.
car.
The priority here in the philosophy is we wanted to provide a variety of these different things. You know, they should not all feel the same. Some might be built for players who are more into kind of high intensity combat. Others for more just like crazy moments. Others for folks who are like to, you know, cozy content, to learn more about the lore, etc. First up is Silvermoon Court. This is what you're going to see in Eversong Woods. You'll balance your reputation between the 4 different military groups.
Oh no! So it's Undermine
It's meant to sort of
2.0.
evoke the feelings of the Burning Crusade reputations. You all remember the Aldor and Scryers.
Okay, so it's
Yes,
not.
I see some nodding of heads.
Okay.
So it'll feel a little bit like that, and each track has its own cosmetic rewards that come from it. In Zulaman, you will harvest materials.
Eventually, you'll have to get all 4 of them, though, right? So I mean, to get all the rewards. So it's actually gonna be more like the Undermine.
Abundance.
Fuck.
This is a fast-paced, super buffed collectathon. It's professions themed. You're going to go into caves. You're going to have sort of a timed treasure room feel where you're going to mine as much as you can. You're going to gather as much treasure as you can. It's professions themed. It's not professions
Like in MOP?
required. So anybody can gather these materials. Although if you are a gatherer, you might find a couple additional bonuses. It's also I should point out that the Loa theming ties this one to Zulaman, but Abundance Caves are actually present in all 4 of the Midnight Zones. These are really fun. I'm looking forward to playing these. Legends of the Heronir is an event that happens in Herondar. And this is an event that invites players to step into the forgotten past of the Harati tribe using magical paintings to embark on bite-sized, lore-rich journeys. This is designed for those devoted lore seekers. You can kind of
We haven't done lore walking yet. Maybe we should do that today.
Objectives as quickly as you want.
Completely
But
forgot
there's also
about that.
lots of
It's no
opportunities
achievement
for you to
title.
slow down a little bit, read a little bit of text about the past of these folks, discover some lore objects, poke around, learn some history. Really cool stuff. And lastly, in Voidstorm, we have the Stormarian Assault. You're going to be protecting the Void Elves, who are going to play an important part in the story of Voidstorm. As they activate their Singularity Anchor, you all know what a Singularity Anchor is, right? No? It's the thing that you use to purge the Stormarian Citadel of remnant Void anomalies. Well, anyhow, you're going to help them protect that thing in sort of a wave defense, where it's an action-packed public event where your success is not only defined by how well you fight, but also how well your group places defenses to fend off the endless oncoming waves that are going to attack that Singularity Anchor. Okay, switching things up a bit, let's move on to updated leveling experience. I got to imagine that a lot of you folks here already play World of Warcraft. A lot of folks watching at home probably do as well.
Like this leveling experience freaking sucked. They need to bring back, something that's gonna put you back in the world and not like on a separate island, which has absolutely nothing to do with the story. This sucked. This was terrible.
Pay attention, and if you do, maybe think about, if there's been folks
They
who want
can't
to bring
make
into
it worse,
World of
honestly.
Warcraft, but it's been tough. It's intimidating to get people into a game that's been around for 20 years and is so big and huge and monolithic. These are some updates for folks like that. So first, we made some changes to our tutorial experience, Exile's Reach. This has been changed to be to focus players directly into the Dragonflight expansion. We're doing that by adding some key iconic characters to that feature.
Good.
You're going to see Wrathion there. You'll see Khadgar, Alexstrasza, a bunch of others as well.
Good.
And the story is going to be about them going off and embarking on their mission to the Dragon Isles to learn about the history of the dragons. It will culminate with you being taken directly to Waking Shores to continue that story in the Dragonflight experience for new players. Now, you'll still have Chromie time if you're playing an alt. You can go play whatever expansion you want, but for a new player, that sort of core progression will take you directly to Dragonflight. And we've made a bunch of changes to the Dragonflight expansion as well with new players in mind. So first, you'll level through those first 4 zones. But then as opposed to before, when you get to the end of Thaldraszus and you're at the gates of the raid and you know that Razageth is gnarly and you want to take the fight to her, but you need a whole bunch of people to do that, instead of that, you're going to go straight to fighting Razageth. We've added a story mode raid version of the Razageth fight. So you can, as a solo player, along with 9 game
much better than what they had before.
Take down Razageth, see how that story resolves. And then after that, it keeps going. You get to keep going into Zeralek Caverns, play through that zone as a leveling player with a leveling appropriate rewards. And then you get to fight against Sarkareth in another story mode raid. Y'all can probably see where this is going. If you know the story of Dragonflight, then you continue into the Emerald Dream and then fight against Farak. We're super excited about this. This is the first time that new players have been able to play through the entire story of an expansion while they're leveling through the game.
This is a W.
This will take them to
Not the same as Elven Forest.
That's not quite 80,
or something like that, but it's a W.
Doing something different, which I'll get to in just a sec. But first, has this ever been you? Maybe you're a returning player to the game, you haven't played in a little while, and you are greeted
every time I log an alt.
Horseman of a quest log full of quests that you don't remember.
Every time I log an alt, bro.
A bag full of items that you don't remember ever gathering. And then a talent tree full of talents that you don't really know what those icons represent. You are not alone. This is the case for a lot of returning players. It can be tough to get back into your character after you've been away for a little while. And what we see for folks is, after folks have been away, particularly for a long time, it's easier to roll a new character than it is to get back into your beloved favorite tune. And so that's okay, because we've got a stack of gear ready for you to claim as you step into our brand new returning player experience. This is, again, brand new, something we just added to the game in Midnight. It is a feature where you will join alongside Thrall or Jaina as a returning player, and it's meant to remove all those distractions so you don't have to worry about what's in your bags and your talents tree. We're going to hide all your quests from you. It's really simple. It's just, hey, Go kill some gnolls.
So they're just
Very
deferring
simple.
the
You don't have
problem
to
for
worry about
later.
all the other direct things pulling you in different directions. Just go kill some gnolls. And then after that, the story will develop. Maybe you go kill some ogres. Maybe you go kill some cultists. There will be some, some story that
Just
progresses
they're
along.
trying to
But
get
the
your
point is,
attention,
once
so-
you get in, you should remember, oh yeah, this is how my character plays. And by the time you're done, you should have your bearings. It's drop in and drop out. So after 2 minutes, if you're like, oh yeah, I remember how to play Paladin. This is easy. Then you could just drop right out. If you play all the way through, you'll get a full set of gear that's level appropriate to whatever level you stepped in this place at. So you'll be ready to just jump right into the fight.
Okay, I feel pretty much
And I've also
ambivalent about
added
this
some
one.
improvements to the tutorials as well. So
Is you're
first
still
we
gonna
added a skywriting tutorial, which
go
will make
back to a
if you
full
never learned
mailbox.
how to play
It's
Skyrim
gonna-
or to
it's gonna
do
help out
skywriting,
with
dragon
the-
writing, as it was called back in the
with the
Dragonflight
talents, of course,
expansion. You'll learn how to do that.
You can have full buys, full
And
quest logs
it'll
too.
add a tutorial to learn how to interrupt. So if you've ever been in a group with folks who don't seem to know how to interrupt, the returning player experience will get you covered there as well. And lastly, we have the War Within recap. This is a feature we've added that in case you've missed the War Within expansion, or if just parts of the story, maybe it's just been a little while since you played the War Within, no worries, we've got you covered there as well. So this is a quick, couple hours long experience which will take you through the entirety of the story of the War Within. It starts at the Isle of Dorne, through the Ringing Deeps, all the way through Koresh. And you'll get to see all the big cinematics. You'll get to see what happens with all the characters. It would normally take a couple dozen hours to play through all these quests, but this will just take a much quicker time. Anybody can play this. If you want to do this right before you go into midnight to bring yourself current, that's great. If you don't want to, that's fine. Everybody gets that. We got to fight Xal'atath anyways. And if you're a new player, this is how you will level from 70 to 80. Instead of having to, it'll be really quick. It'll be just like play through this, again, a couple hours long experience, and you'll be able to hop right into midnight once you're ready.
Okay.
A new update I wanted
Good.
to share with y'all about the new player experience, all these things that we're talking about. New player experience, returning player experience, and the War Within recap.
Glad they're working on this.
These are going to be available in the final patch of the War Within, 11.2.7. So a little bit earlier, folks wanted to start getting warmed up. If you are thinking about that friend that you wanted to invite in, maybe they can get in a little bit earlier, start collecting some housing decor, and level in.
Yeah, we're gonna collect
that does
that
it for
housing
me.
stuff.
Next, I'm going to hand things over to Ian, who's going to talk to you about a couple other features.
PvP?
Starting with PvP.
Yeah, let's go.
Ian, take it away.
This
Thank
is what
you,
we're here
Paul.
for. Okay, tell me that you have not
Hello,
abandoned
guys.
us.
So yes, PvP. A major new PvP feature
Mm-hmm.
coming in Midnight is the Slayer's Rise Battleground. This battleground is set in the Voidstorm.
Yeah.
And it is a 40v40
It's good that
epic
we're getting a
battleground inspired
battleground,
by
but I wouldn't call it a
Ultimate
major
Valley, Isle of
PvP
Conquest,
feature.
And that general large-scale
This already is kind of disappointing.
Here's a look at the overall
It
layout
looks
of
cool
the map
though.
and how it's going
I'll give them
forward.
that.
So
This looks
The
badass.
setting for this map is a conflict between these two powerful warlords.
It
in
looks
the
like a
Voidstorm,
little bit like that
Dominar,
Unreal Tournament
fighting
map,
for control,
right?
And Alliance and Horde forces
Yeah,
fighting
40 by
themselves
40. Oh,
across
shit,
the
yeah.
middle of the conflict. Each
It's
allied
like- it's
with
good-
one
that
of the
looks cool,
opposing
actually.
Dominar. You're going to start on opposing sides of the map, initially run to the middle for a wild 40v40 brawl over an initial control point that will give you an early advantage in the map. We know people are going to fight it out anyway, so let's encourage it and build that into the flow.
Good.
From there, it breaks down into each side trying to push down a lane towards the opposing base, destroying their defenses, killing key NPCs along the
I
way,
like that.
and
I like
ultimately
Tug of
trying to
War,
defeat the
like
opposing
old
Dominar. But
AV,
you'll be breaking
Asheron. I
off
loved
as
Asheron.
well to
The old
recruit neutral
version of
forces
Asheron.
to aid your side
Initial
and help
one.
push that lane. So every side is going to be doing a mix of attacking, defending, and recruiting forces to help lead their side
W.
to victory.
WBG.
Super excited to have
Asheron
the new
2.0. I
battleground
fucking love
coming
Asheron.
in Midnight.
Also, looks-wise, looks awesome.
And also,
W.
this area that's used as a battleground will be accessible in the outdoor part
Basically, MOBA
of the
BG, yeah.
Voidstorm zone. And this is going to be a place for
Big
those of
dub.
you who love world PvP to
Big
come battle it
dub.
out with each other. This area is really designed with interesting points of conflict.
Looking
in
forward to
mind.
this.
There's other, there's also
We have to farm 100 wins for the achievement, guys. We're gonna spend a while in here. We're gonna enjoy the shit out of this when this comes out.
But really, you're going to want to turn on War Mode to get the most out of this experience. If you like World PvP, this is the place to be. You can find your people and battle it out. Now, when we think about PvP in World of Warcraft,
Okay.
we've heard feedback from the PvP community
Yes.
over the years that they'd love to see more support. PvP
Yes.
is amazing.
Yes.
It's deep.
Thank you.
It is endlessly replayable. But the reality is, it can also be really hard to approach. 20 years into the game's history, there's
Yes.
so much to learn. People are so good at it, and oftentimes people check out PvP and feel like, okay, I just got destroyed.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't know that this is for me, even if they do enjoy PvP in other games. But so many other games of different genres have a mode where you can initially kind of learn the maps, learn the rules, learn combat against bots. And that's an easy on-ramp to kind of build your confidence to make sure that you know what you're doing before you match up against other players. And so that's what training grounds are coming in Midnight. And this is inspired by a battleground brawl that we've had running for a while.
Is that gonna solve the problem though?
Expanded and revamped.
I don't think so.
In addition to Arathi Basin, you'll also be able to play on Silver Shard Mines and the Battle for Gilneas.
Guess it helps.
Facing off against AI opponents that are a bit smarter.
But the root of the issue is there's too much reaction time. Like you need to react fast enough. You need to know every single ability. There are far too many abilities on every class.
The bots that we've had in the past.
What the hell do you suggest, my dude? I suggest to make the classes simpler.
Test your skills a bit, teach you how the battlegrounds
Have
work,
there be less
teach you how
CC.
opposing classes work, and kind of give you an on-ramp into PvP from there. Super excited to roll this out in Midnight and hopefully introduce a new generation of players to the fun that
Make PvP slower.
can offer.
Make it slower, make it so that you don't need to react with the defensive within 1 second or die.
So over the last few months, we've been doing a lot of work.
Make it less punishing, so when you overlap defensives with your teammate, it's not a guaranteed loss.
Within to improve the baseline UI experience with things like the cooldown manager, combat assistant, and more. That's going to continue in Midnight and beyond. One area that we want to focus on is our nameplates. We understand that, when you're in the heat of combat, this is the best window into what's going on, the status of your enemies, and what you need to respond to. And our default nameplates currently don't give you all the information you might want. We really want to improve your ability to see and customize buff.
Thank God, the current incarnation of nameplates sucks ass. I'll be honest, I've been looking for a nameplate add-on for a while now. Because the current nameplates, they're way too thin to click. And when you have more mobs on top of each other, they go up and down. It's insane.
And debuff display on nameplates. We also want to be able to call out.
Thank God they're working on this, man.
That's something that we're going to build in on the encounter design side. If there's a cast that probably is going to wipe you if it gets off, that should be a larger highlighted cast bar so you know it's a high priority interrupt. You shouldn't need an add-on or an external guide to tell you that. The game should be doing it itself.
Big W.
I'm really excited to add this functionality.
He's wearing a W
to our
t-shirt.
nameplates. Next up, damage meters. We are adding damage meters to the base UI experience. Again,
There's no way this is going to be as detailed as details.
and this is probably the single most popular add-on used by players across all of World of Warcraft. And you shouldn't need to feel like if you want to understand whether your talent build that you just tried out is more effective than the one you were using yesterday, you shouldn't need an external tool for that. The game should give you that information. And so we have fully featured damage meters. These are also going to be sort of server-side authoritative. So compared to add-ons where maybe someone is out of range or in a different phase and you lose track of the information about what they're doing, here we're going to keep track of it on our end, and so they should always be perfectly accurate. Next up, this is a fun one. How many of you use DBM or bigwigs? Right? Basically, since the beginning of raiding, 20 years ago plus, people have relied on add-ons to let them know when a major boss ability is coming up. That's just how WoW raiding has been for nearly everyone who raids. And yet, again, you've had to turn to external tools to do that, and we feel that's not the experience that our players deserve. So we are building in a lot of that functionality into our encounters in Midnight. So you can see a timeline of major critical abilities that are coming up, and alerts if you're targeted by something, things along those lines, to give you the information you need to overcome the challenges that are facing you. Those are just a few of the user interface improvements that are coming in Midnight. There are going to be many more at launch and to follow. This is a project that has a long future ahead of it. We really want to make sure that our base user experience is the very best that it can be. transmog. Really, transmog, as everyone, as true WoW aficionados know, is the real endgame of World of Warcraft. We want to make sure we are supporting it as
I've used
best
the
we
same
can.
transmog for
So nearly
13
15
years or
after the
something.
introduction of transmog, we have coming up an overhaul to how the system works. No longer will you have to go reapply the appearance of your choice every time you get a new upgrade, every time you get a quest reward or a raid drop.
Yeah,
or
it's the
whatever else.
logical way to go about it.
Instead of transmogging items, you will now transmog the slot. And so if you have something set as your helm appearance,
W, but long
and
overdue.
you get a new helm, it's just going to inherit the look that you want it to have. You'll still pay a gold cost to set that like head slot or back slot appearance, but as you just get new items, you can just put those on, there's no additional cost, and that'll just be the appearance that you have. But this also gives us the opportunity to add more opportunities for customization and self-expression in the transmog system. Because not only can you save one outfit, you'll be able to unlock and save many, many outfits. And then, if you want, you can tie those outfits to specific situations. So if you want one outfit that enables when you go into town, or when you go into your
That's
home,
nice.
or
Oh,
when
that's
you go into a dungeon,
all
or
right.
you change your specialization,
All right.
you can map those things to each other, and it'll just automatically happen. So we're very
RPers
excited
are
about
gonna
the
love
depth
this.
of customization this is going to bring. And as with many of our systems, this is just kind of the beginning.
This is nice.
This is Transmog 2.0, but we're going to continue to build on this foundation in the months and years ahead. So thank you for coming out. Speaking of the months and years ahead, really, it's so exciting to be here this week, finally pulling back the curtain, revealing what the team has been hard at work on in making World of Warcraft Midnight. But this is just the beginning. We're going to head back to California, and in just a few weeks, we're going to have our alpha test beginning. So stay tuned for that with beta to follow. We have so much more to share with you. It's going to be a very exciting fall. We can't wait to see you all in Midnight in early 2026. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of Gamescom.
Okay. Still no classic? Well, yeah, I guess they're not ready to announce it. Classic Plus, yeah. I mean, they never said like when in 2026. So what did you guys think? What are your feelings? I think it's mostly W's. I don't like the delves are coming back. But other than that, it looks pretty nice. I'll be honest, like especially the new troll area. Hype. There are tons of developer interviews touching more details. Okay. Wait, we can watch that some other day. I'll have to look for them. I didn't realize there are more, but this is gonna be it from the reaction perspective, and I think we're gonna actually play the game again. But yeah, people like it. Seems people like it. Let's see, like how many people viewed it. 122,000 views. I don't have the add-on which shows the dislikes, but they like this. This is good. Arena training mode versus bots would be amazing. Okay, good point. Fantastic stuff. Okay. So people are positive about this. All right. So we're gonna go back into the game. Give me a second. I'm gonna turn on some music. I also recorded the whole thing, so I'm gonna put this up on the YouTube channel, of course. Maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, depending on how lazy I feel. Alright, sorry about that. Now let me switch the... Okay. So you say you love delves. Well, I'll be honest with you with delves. The thing is, for me, it's too much of a target dummy situation, and when you get into tier 11 delves, all the mobs they don't have that many mechanics. They have barely any mechanics. And they just hit extremely hard. They have a whole lot of health, right? So it's not really too much of a challenge or anything. However, I do love the seasonal Nemesis delve. We had a whole lot of fun with that. Oh, what is this? This is a named mob right here. Okay. So what are we thinking of doing for the rest of the stream? We have about an hour. By the way, we did get boosted by... I did get boosted by my wife in Mythic Plus. We got plus 10 done for the week. So next week we can start pushing our own key. We almost timed it also, by the way. It's not like a plus 10 is hard. Yeah, they talked about that in one of the interviews. They acknowledged that difficulty shouldn't just be more damage plus health. About delves, to be specific. Oh god, thank god. Because that was one of the most toxic things for me in all of War Within. I hated that. Doing all the tier 11 delves. Oh my god. Thank god, man. Thank you for the good news. Jesus. That was bad, man. If they fix that, I'm all good with that. I'm fine with them keeping delves. If it's more like horrific visions, I'll be super happy about delves because I love horrific visions. I used to love them, especially in BFA when they were more challenging. Now they're not as challenging because of the kind of nemesis affix. I think it's called a nemesis affix, where you get Hogger or just an elite mob that comes after you every X amount of minutes or X amount of mob kills. But it ends up being like, well, you restore sanity when you kill it, so you get basically infinite sanity. That wasn't the case in BFA. In BFA, it was much more fun, it was much more challenging, and I did enjoy that. And then Torghast was meant to improve on that concept, but it did not really improve. Torghast was much more boring. So as long as they bring horrific visions like solo content or Nemesis Delve like solo content to the game, I'm all up for that. Yes, they also mentioned they'll be adding more events like horrific visions in the context that would make sense for the story. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not talking even about story-wise. I'm talking about like pure mechanics-wise. Like, how fun did it feel to play through Delves versus how fun it was, how fun it felt to play through horrific visions versus Torghast, right? So for me, every time it has been a step down from how fun it was. So horrific visions were the most fun. Then Torghast was less fun, but okay, at least it was something. And then Delves were for me by far the worst. So Torghast, I think they had lots of potential because it was supposed to be like a WoW roguelike, but they did not really ended up delivering on the implementation too well. Because sometimes there were like what a roguelike is meant to be is, as you level up through the roguelike, you encounter different choices. I'm stuck in this game, by the way. You encounter different choices, and every choice is supposed to be like, it's supposed to have a certain risk associated with it, right? And the more risks you take, the more reward you get, but the more chance you have to fail the run, right? And depending on whether you play well or not, though taking big risks might offer you the possibility to have great success. But how Torghast was it just offered you like 3 random abilities with no drawbacks to them, with no drawbacks of picking them, no random events that you would encounter that would give you drawbacks. And then there was an obvious choice between the 3. Okay, this ability is obviously the best, and it just gave you like a talent or something that you were not able to pick without it, and it just made you overpowered in the end, right? And did not really come with like significant risks or anything. On top of that, a lot of people did hate Torghast because it was tied to player progression, to player power. So they felt forced to do it. And even on top of that, the environment was very depressing and monotone. The shades of gray and just a feeling of a kind of a jail. did not do it any favors. Oops. So I'm all down for them bringing back such experiences, but they need to be well thought through, you know. Not like Delves. Oh, we have this feature coming up in the War Within Delves, and then because they're running into deadlines, they hastily implement those things and they shape it up over the next 2-3 expansions. No, just don't bring them out. I don't want to do this, you know. I despise Torghast, but one more chore. It was one more chore to do instead of fun activity. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it needs to be fun. It has to be something that you do for the experience itself, not for the reward, right? It's like, even if there's no reward, like, you want to be able to go there and play it, right? Like, for example, like, if people go and play like Dota 2 or Heroes of Newerth of League of Legends, just basically mobile games, they don't play it because they get a reward at the end. They play it because they like the game itself, right? They need to start approaching it from that perspective. Like the process itself has to be fun. Gameplay is king, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, we need a lightly dented luggage. It's our last item that we're missing for this whole achievement. Let's try to get it lightly dented. Let's just looking it up on Wowhead. It's not in untethered mode, it seems. I think it's just one of these treasures that does spawn totally randomly and shared among players. So if a player loots it, the other player won't be able to get it. I'm a big fan of such interactions, by the way. I'm a big fan of a persistent world which is not different for two players at once. I've been talking about this a whole lot on my stream. Two players should never be able to use the same quest objective unless it's like a rare, unless it's like an elite mob that you kill together, right? Or unless you're in a group. Wait, there's a rare Malekta. Okay, we don't need Malekta. I'm excited for the Haranier. Been a drone main since vanilla and always felt it wasn't green enough. Well, let's see. Oh, wait, look, this is the luggage. Okay, we got it. It's here. And we get the Treasures of Courage achievement. Just like that. Yeah, I mean, let's see how it is. I'm curious about how we get into the zone. I'm very curious about that. So what should we even do? I mean, we have like 47 minutes till I have to end the stream. So I have to figure out an activity. Maybe do some delves. Yeah. We should do some delves. So we need to do the storyline variant Waygate Wilds. That's not the one that's available at the moment. Propolis reintroduction. I've somehow consistently managed to miss for the entire patch all that glitters story variant of the Side Street Sleuths. Okay, let's just do this delve, even though we do not need that particular story variant. Let's just do the delve. Can we assemble any more copper keys? Yes, we can. Man, I hate that I lost, like, in the transition from Season 1 to Season 2, and from Season 2 to Season 3, I lost, like, overall, like, 50 copper keys. Oh, by the way, maybe we could... no, let's not do it on Tier 11 yet. I need to get better gear for that. This would be painful. Let's just do Tier 8, okay? Just plain and simple tier 8. Then when I get some more gear, we're gonna be doing the tier 11s as a healer and stuff like that to finish this achievement, by the way, which we haven't finished last patch. Algari Delver healer, and then yeah, you get this Algari Delver achievement at the end. You need to do it on tier 11. Maybe I'll queue for an RBG towards the end of the delve. Not right now. I mean, we could. I guess we could queue now, and if it pops after the delve is done, then we can enter, right? Let me think about how to go around this. Let me do 5 minutes of this delve and then queue for the RBG. I think we could do that. I think we could do it like that, yeah.
It's too far away.
Okay, so this is the story mode where you uncover artifacts or recover artifacts. The knee-seeking arrow. Yeah, sorry about not doing classic hardcore today. I know many people were looking forward to it. Many people in my audience are classic enjoyers. Although, like recently, the stream has been pretty heavy on the retail side. But I can promise you guys, especially when I get back from my business trip, I'm gonna play a lot of classic hardcore. 100% gonna do that. I really do have a classic hardcore itch, but I just don't want to do it on an unstable internet. Yeah, our paladin's ready for dungeons, and we're gonna raid on him. Like, I wanna do Naxxramas on the paladin, and maybe on the warrior. Like, we got really far on the warrior, geared to the teeth. Now it's time to gear up the paladin and chat it up. I don't think, you know, they will let me into the main raid though, or any raid that will go to Naxxramas on the warrior, because obviously, as you know, I play deep rot. They did say they would let me like tank patchwork though, because it doesn't matter there. So at least I can tank patchwork when it comes to it, but I think the path to progression in hardcore, like AQ and stuff, that's to be done on my paladin from now on. So we definitely have to get him up to speed. We have to get him all the things, like we have to get him at the shoulder enchant from ZG, which means we have to farm ZG a whole lot. So we're gonna spend a whole time in there, because there's like a lot of items that I need from ZG as a Holy Paladin. So you have the Peacekeeper Gauntlets, you have the Jindo Mace, you have the Jindo Necklace. You have some other parts of the Peacekeeper set, which are not as good, but they're good for healing. Sorry, for armor. Alright, they're not as good for healing, but they're good for the fact that they have armor. So, in case your character is a little bit low on armor, you can use those. And they also have a good amount of stamina, so maybe the leg plates would be something that I would use over the BRD leg plates, but it's to be decided, of course. But then, of course, once you get into AQ 40 as a Holy Paladin, you do have those leg plates of the Blazing Light, which are just best in slot all time. Amazing leg plates. better than tier 3. And the tier tier 3 8 set for Holy Paladins isn't that good. It can be useful on some bosses, but overall it's not something you would use. So it's heals allies for 200 when you cleanse debuff off of them. Not bad, right? Good for like Chromagus, I guess. But although on Chromagus, people don't really take any damage. So why do you even use that? There has to be some fight like where you use it, but it's not amazing, right? So better, instead of the tier 3 gloves, use Peacekeeper, and instead of tier 3 legs, you use like Blaze of Blazing Light. But I think the tier 3 pieces, they actually have more stamina, so it actually might be a play also for that reason. But anyway, we're right now definitely not in a situation where we can get tier 3 stuff. It's not even out yet on the Fresh Realms. So now where is this captain? Is he down there or is he up there? Okay, let's just jump down. Bro, I don't know what, like, who thought it would be a great idea to put a jug of endless mayonnaise into the game. Alright, we're gonna queue for an RBG. Actually, we did get to 1700 CR already. That's crazy. I don't want to get the achievements for raiding from Solo Battlegrounds Blade because it's like considered kinda welfare. I kinda want to get that in Solo Shuffle, I'll be honest. But I do want to get that achievement, so we're just gonna play. Just gonna play, try to hit those ABs, War Songs, and Kotmogus and win it in under 7 minutes. This is sometimes what you have to do when you want to get every single achievement in the game. You have to do stupid shit like this. And off stream at midnight, I'm gonna go for the Unbound Spoils, of course. It's time to start going for the Unbound Spoils. I've picked the worst possible time to go for it because now it's the start of the season. People do want those free sockets, right? If I had done it like at the end of the previous season, these chests would have been free. So I am making it unnecessarily hard for myself, but that's just how it is. Hey, this boss hits like a motherfucker. I don't know why they put an achievement into the game to complete like 500 bountiful delts and 1000 delts overall. Like, this is probably the achievement that is gonna like keep me from being able of hitting every single achievement in War Within. I think maybe we go for every single achievement in Midnight. Like we did it in Dragonflight, we don't need to get it in every single expansion. Especially since we put so much effort into Hardcore WoW, right? We're kind of behind. Alright, let's see what we got. By the way, I hope like they bring back Plunderstorm. I'm gonna play the shit out of that. Like when I was in the very beginning of streaming, or at the beginning of the year, of this year, I was like in February. I started streaming for the first time. I was playing a truckload of Plunderstorm. I think that's like amazing stream content, but not many people were watching me at the time. I was pretty much like streaming almost to myself. Ooh, that's a hero. That's a hero. Gauntlets. Holy shit, hold on. That's a hero truck. That's something we could convert into the tier set and use it for PvP, because I'd CBA getting all the stuff on Mythic. I want to get it as soon as possible for PvP, the tier set. But yeah, what I was gonna say is it was before I discovered YouTube streaming, which obviously is the bulk of my viewers. And it's such a shame it's seasonal because I would be playing the hell out of that all the time. And I do have some videos on my channel from Thunderstorm, but if it's like a yearly thing that they bring it back every year, I would love to engage in that on stream for prolonged periods of time. The Brave stream says, yo, what's up? How are you doing? Okay, so we did that delve. For the Alliance, I agree, brother. For the Alliance. At some point, we also need to... I keep talking about this, but we need to do the glories of the Raider. Nerba Raider, Undermine Raider, Omega Raider. Lots of achievements hiding in there. By the way, look at the inconsistency between the achievement points. 25 for that, 25 for that, 10 for that. Oh well. I guess Undermine isn't as cool, it isn't worth as much. Just how it is. I guess we'll go to Undermine now. Let's take a look. Because I know that we did not manage to do that search pricing, which is coming up in 4 minutes actually, so we can get that quest done. Yeah, I'm already running out of content. I already did pretty much most of the Courage content, and now I'm running out of content to do between PvP queues. This is becoming a huge issue. Might actually have to switch over to doing like 3v3 and 2v2 on stream instead, where you get the queues pretty much nearly instantly. What we can do is some chat lists. Maybe I'll do one BG and then some chat lists on alt and the main, of course. Because you need to. That's like another ridiculous achievement. Doing 100 chat lists. Like, are you kidding me? Who thought of that? So, what are we looking for? And we do have to clean up our quest log. Like, I'm probably also gonna do like a stream where I completely clean up my quest log. Especially those skip quests. We need to finish those. Because I have skip quests for like a bunch of... Okay, let me abandon this one right away. This is from the Alterac Valley. Upgrade system, dungeon, delves. Well, oh yeah, we need to get these shards of the great stuff as well. Oh my god. Don't get me even started on that. These quests should be like a separate category, so they don't flood your quest log. But okay, we'll clean that up before the next expansion. We need to do like a big bank cleaning as well. I don't know if that's something I want to stream. Like a huge bank cleaning stream. No, I don't know. I don't know if that's what people would like to watch, but I will definitely do a stream or a video at least where I show off some cool things that I have on my character. Sorry guys, it's just pretty much a stream of consciousness right now. Freaking under my quests. So I still... What? Undermine? What? Do I even have the quests? Have I done them? I forgot about it. I think I might have... No, I still have it and I can't find it. I have the Urge to Search quest. Oh, it's at the top. Bro, why is it not alphabetically sorted, by the way? It's like completely randomly sorted. It's like, it feels alphabetically sorted right here. And then it just decides to go batshit crazy. Then it's like, it's a V and then it's D, D, U, W. So it's double alphabetically sorted. And then for some point you have for some reason you have MetaQuest here and Undermine here. Come on, Blizzard. Oh, and I even searched for Undermine, by the way. Undermine. And it doesn't search the category, it only searches for the individual quests. Oh well, search pricing is here, let's do the quests.
We don't got real blood here in Undermine.
This is World of Warcraft in 2025. These are the quests. Undermine is cool in many ways, but the driving around in a car like this, I don't think it's great. I'll be honest, the turning speed on it sucks.
Satisfaction recommended.
So the way this quest works is also not very clear to me. Because it's, you know, you're supposed to participate in search pricing, but there's no definition of what participating in search pricing is. So I have not received my credit so far. But yeah, guys, to be honest, my character's taking a breather. I'm looking forward to taking a breather myself after the stream. I'm gonna play some Europa Universalis 4 off stream, just chill. It's a great thing, you know, great game. I'll be honest, I was thinking of streaming Europa Universalis 4, but at some point I decided just like, right now it's something I want to do like myself, because there is certain amount of mental energy that one has to dedicate to streaming and kind of talking to the chat, entertaining the audience, all that kind of stuff. By the way, I think I don't want to self-glaze myself, but I think I've improved recently, and especially it's because I'm on a keto diet, which makes me think better and faster. But yeah, you do have to put the mental energy into streaming, and if I streamed everything that I do, I would have end up burning out. So I think it's better for me to just relax after the stream with a different game. And whenever I play WoW, I stream that. But different games, I for now keep to myself. But whenever like, yeah, I think this is good for me. And let's see how we do it with Ashes of Creation. I think I'm gonna like stream a lot of Ashes of Creation though. Like, I do want to my second game on the channel to be Ashes of Creation, but that's not gonna be for the beta. That's gonna be for when it actually releases. And I know there's like a content creator void when it comes to Ashes of Creation, and that if I hop on the train early now and start creating content for Ashes of Creation, I could become really big in that community. But at the same time, I like to play the games when they're finished, right? I like to play the games when they're done. So I'm not gonna farm Ashes of Creation for content. I'm gonna wait till it's fully ready, fully released. God knows how long that might take, by the way. But that's when we're gonna start doing that, making content for the Ashes of Creation. Who knows when that's gonna happen? Like, they have been putting out some amazing developments for that game, though. They have. Why the frick? I need to diffuse roaches. Oh, there we are. I think I need to get the chest. If I get the socially expected tip chest. I do love how the whole Undermine is commentary on corporate culture, by the way. But yeah. I think once we get the socially expected tip chest, we're gonna get the credit for the weekly, and that's gonna be it. And then by then, hopefully, the BG's gonna pop. Which actually means we need to, like, oh my god. If the BG pops before we get the credit, that's gonna be toxic. Because we've done quite a few quests now. We need to do 4 more. And I have a feeling we're not gonna manage to do 4 of them before the BG pops. But I guess I would accept the invite into the BG anyways. I would accept it. What the fuck? Blizzard! Hello? I'm on a timer here. I need to click on her. That's misleading. That's a visual bug. I'm already on the quest now. So many visual bugs in WoW recently. In the quests. Old lady has enemies. Okay, 3 more. Smooth. Perfect stop as well. Where are we supposed to go? Right here. Blackwater Marina, that's very far away. Swear to god, if the BG pops like the last quest of the bunch. Is it here? Where is it? Great, okay. Feed the hungry customers. Yep.
What's cooking? I'm on it. What you got? Nice job. Now get back to
Hovel Hill. I think we're gonna make it. All right, participated in search pricing quest finished. All right, that's about it. That's about it. What we do in the Undermine, I think, because we do have a lot of stuff to do in the Undermine, but it mostly involves farming the reps, which is best done through the weeklies. But we're mostly done with the achievement part of it. Like, thing is, there's like many rewards from the chests, from the Paragon chests. Like, there's like so many Paragon chests in Undermine, and each of them can contain a mount. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't know if this one can contain a mount or not, but all of these can. And I think this Galagio Loyalty Rewards Club, you get that rep by just doing the raid. I think that's how that works. Which I don't like, by the way, that now you have reputations tied directly to the raid, so that's something else to farm, but that's okay. So next, I think we want to go to Nightfall Renown. We want to wrap that one up as well. But yeah, I'm slowly running out of content to do in between BGQs. Something tells me I need to do a Mythic Plus stream, but that's gonna happen next week. Oh yeah, we haven't finished the Horrific Visions. as well. That's something that we can do. And you need to get the mount, and we need to get the currency. So yeah, okay, that is something to do. So Nightfall. Counterattack begins in 0-0. Does it start right now? In 17 minutes. Wait, what? Your team has left the queue? Huh? I just lost the BGQ randomly. I didn't do anything. Oh, Blizzard. This is not the first time that has happened to me. What? It just pops. I didn't leave the queue. I was like, okay, perfect timing. I can do the BG. And then I can, when I come out, I can do this. But somehow I just lost the queue randomly. Holy fuck. Okay. We waited like 17 minutes for that. Awesome. Okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna farm a bunch of these mobs. Because this is the easiest place to farm the weekly copper piece. Essentially, you farm a bunch of these shards, and then every week you just turn in 12 of these shards into the different braziers, and that gives you a chest with the delve key inside. So it's like a free weekly delve key with minimal effort. So since these mobs are also very low health now, we can just spend some time here farming that. See these radiant remnants? You need 12 of them per week. And then you just get a copper key. So I have nothing better to do, so I'm just gonna farm the remnants here in preparation for a whole bunch of delves. And it's pretty nice actually that they do give the hero track gear. So what we could also do while we wait, do every single world quest that does reward the copper key shards. It's also an option. So we do need the delves for both gear and achievements right now. That's something I might do, yeah. When I'm bored of farming this, which is gonna happen probably in like 10 minutes from now on. I don't even know if I have time for another BG now. Well, not that I've done any at all this stream. Because I do have to end the stream in like 15 minutes, so unless it pops in like 4 minutes, unless it pops like early, then I can't do it. Unfortunate. But tomorrow's another day, might do some tomorrow, or something else. Maybe we continue doing solo shuffle, or something. This guy better drop like 10 of them. One. My fucking god, bro. Okay.
Hostile entity identified. I'm out of range.
Check the calendar, see if there's like no raid glories. Maybe I do need to set up my own group for like glory of the raider. Maybe I do.
Activating countermeasures. Attack sequence initiated. Threat detected.
Okay, how many do we have so far? Should be like a currency, I think. No, it's not. Oh, maybe that's why maybe I sold them. Big L from me. Maybe I put them in my bank. That's probably what happened to them. They're not a currency. I'm like, fuck this shit. I don't want this shit in my inventory. I sold them. Oh look, it's the Hyper Radiant Flame Reflector all the way from Classic. Alright, I mean we farmed like 54 of them. It's enough for now. Let's get some of the copper key shards so I can do like more delves on tier 8. And get the hero items, which I can then turn into the set items. So we're not gonna go for mythic track. I can get that later. We want to be able to get it as soon as possible for PvP though, so. But I don't wanna like turn like a champion set piece or champion item into tier set. It's gonna have to be at least hero. Completely forgot how to play this. There we go. Oh, that actually also gave me bloody tokens. Interesting. I do need to think about which items I'm gonna get from the bloody tokens. I actually think I'm gonna get the belt, even though this belt has mastery on it and the other belt has haste, and haste is not good for us. So. Damn. Wanna check Ashkahat. Anything there? Yes, there's one there for copper key shards. Yeah, doing like bountiful delves is probably our best chance at getting hero gear right now. It's nice to have a little bit of something for the next week. I think next week I'll do some PvE, just M+. Try to learn the current season's dungeons, because last season I didn't bother to get a 3k, I only got like 2.7. And I wanted to get it like last minute, but I didn't make it in time. So it was sad, I didn't get both the mounts. So we want to avoid missing the mounts in the future. So I want to do it early on for sure this time. And also it's just nice to have PvE gear for the different activities, like farming delves. Like this season we're gonna farm so many delves. And we want to be able to clear that really fast. What are we supposed to do here? Razormouth grubs gathered. Do we need to lure it out with this reduced detection? Okay, we're not supposed to find that, I guess, to get found by that. Oh, that's what we need. In the burrow right there. I don't care if they spawn something, honestly. I just like jumping around. I like how the grubs are just gonna ride you. It's kinda cute. He's just cleaving them down. It's not really attacking me. As long as people don't attack me like directly, I don't fight back. I kind of live and let live, but I do like getting attacked and then whooping their ass. It's one of the reasons why we're actually getting geared up is, even though it's pretty early in the season, is so that I don't get outgeared in world PvP encounters. I am a war mode enjoyer. I do spend 100% of my time in war mode, unless there's some quest that like basically doesn't have a party for it in war mode on. Then I do go for the war mode off because I have no other way to complete it. But in general, I try to have nearly 100% uptime in war mode. It's a shame that like the game is kind of dead in war mode, I'll be honest. There are not many people in war mode on. Most people are war mode off. So let me skip this song. But also it's way too late for the BG now, unfortunately. Sorry to do that, guys, but it's how it is. I have to end the stream in 5 minutes, so there's no way we're gonna be able to finish a battleground in time. To get the queue and finish the battleground even. This quest is ass though. Like, it takes such a long time to find the grubs, man. Okay. That is probably what the prey feature is gonna end up being like. It's just gonna be annoying. Okay, nothing here. Something in Ringing Deeps, maybe. And yes, there is. All worked up. That one does give coffer key shards. And bloodstones for whatever reason, or blood tokens, I mean. So yeah, I think we're gonna buy the bell, blood tokens, and I don't know what else. We will have to figure that out. But yeah, next week we're pretty much mostly geared because we're gonna get the weapon. We're gonna get probably close to having 4 set, if not 4 set. Anything in Isle of Dawn, by the way? I'll just check later. And we did get that mythic plus 10 completed for the week, so we have a slight chance of getting a good piece of gear from that. And yeah, the next week I'm just gonna start pushing my keys. I'm gonna be spamming my keys, and since it is a +9, people will actually be interested in joining. So it will slowly learn all the dungeons, progress all the way up to like +12 and +13 and get our seasonal mount. I will need lots of time later in the season to get the Solo Shuffle legend, so better do the M+ stuff early. And I might be going for Glad as well with my friend. I think we're gonna do this quest, and that's gonna be it. Not planning on doing anything else on this stream, unfortunately. I do have to end the stream in a couple minutes in order not to disturb the peace and silence of the night. You know, people can hear me in the neighboring rooms and stuff like that, so I would be interfering with their sleep. Well, I am usually awake throughout the night, so I guess it's also a good motivation to do the stream at the proper time, because then it actually means that I get a European audience, whereas if I stream in the middle of the night, it would be like also a lot of Americans. Not that they are Asians and stuff like that, Australians. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Of course, I welcome you to my stream wherever you're from, but it's always better to, you know, be time zone aligned. So it's more of a matter of that. Getting goddamn hot in my room, man. Need to let some air in here after the stream. Getting almost sleepy from how hot it is in here. Oops. These quests take a long time, man, for these coffer key shards. Oh no. Who the hell thought this mob would be a good idea? Oh my god, now we're stuck in combat. Oh, okay, thank god I'm not in combat anymore. Thank you, Blizzard. Appreciate it. Alright, there we go. We got the quest done. And yeah, as I said, that's gonna be it for tonight. Guys, I appreciate you all hanging around in the chat today. Even if you're just lurking, I appreciate you guys being here. We've been, let's be honest, the stream, the YouTube channel has been kind of popping off recently. So I'm very grateful that more people and more are finding the channel and they're enjoying my content. It keeps me going for sure. Definitely the first month where I was streamed to basically 0 people was pretty demoralizing, but now that there's people, I do enjoy it a whole lot and I'm planning on continuing. So probably tomorrow, if not the day after. Okay, so thanks a lot again and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.